Do you have any experience with rejection?
I do.
Like what?
I can think of many examples of rejection in my adult life and younger life, and ultimately I know that actually originates much earlier on in infancy. Is when rejection first starts happening. It could be the first time a mother takes their child off of the breast for breastfeeding. They psychologically take that as rejection.
Mm-hmm.
Laying a child down in a crib or on their own bed and letting them cry it out, they experience that as rejection. And so we start experiencing rejection very early on. And that's why it's one of the biggest trigger points for us, is because it so profoundly affected us at such an early stage. That's why it's so huge when it shows up again and again and again, is because it goes back to this maternal and paternal bond where we feel that on such a fundamental level of, I do not have any value. I'm not good enough. I am inherently not good. I don't deserve to be here. I don't deserve what I'm asking for, because a child's little cry is a request for connection. When that connection gets rejected, we feel that as a primary wound that we potentially, in most cases, will carry on for the rest of our lives. And I believe it shows up again and again and again because of certain neural pathways and development. And Gabor Mate talks about this, Professor Van der Kolk talks about this as well, is that how the mind is wired is how it fires. And so if we come to expect rejection as a little kid, we will manifest that as adults because that's what we're used to. That's what we come to expect. That's what we believe will happen. I'm not good enough. They're choosing somebody else. I'm a total fucking piece of shit. Obviously, I'm going to lock myself away.
And that makes me think of something that I think about often and we've talked about is it's the experience that we have. Something happened. Then humans, we create a story about the experience. And then we attach a meaning to the story of the experience. And so the experience for me was doing outreach. That's what I was doing. And it wasn't going well for so long. And I became overwhelmed and stressed out because of financial pressure. And so the story that I created a story from it and then a meaning, and then that led to some really bad things like burnout. And that's not really an abstract thing. That's very real. We're talking like real. Would you call it even like neuroscience? Because with so many repetitions, right? You create that story, attach a meaning to it, and then that is just becoming your identity, telling your consciousness field that what is real is not the experience that happened back there,
right?
But the meaning of the story from the experience.
Yeah, we could watch The Office. We could watch the entire, however many seasons of The Office there were, the American one, whatever, both. And there's a story, and the story has meaning, but we don't identify with that meaning. That's why we can watch such dysfunction and not be bothered by it, not get sucked into it.
But if the same things were happening to
you in an office scenario, it would be devastating. Funny.
Yeah.
No.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's like why in a couple of my previous relationships, I could say some of the shit that I do to people, and it's funny to my partner because it's not happening to them. They can see it. They don't attach meaning to it because it's not happening to them. But as soon as I use the same type of humor with them, they're like, like that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And that's understandable.
So if you're experiencing rejection in your life, you understand that it's a stress state, especially if it's happening repeatedly. You're not thinking, you feel threatened. And what happens when we're threatened? We go to
strategize. I mean, we can strategize. We can start preparing to defend ourselves.
Yeah, it's fight, flight, or freeze. When you're in a threat situation like that, that leads to avoidance. You might doom scroll. And for me, I started distracting myself with, instead of pitching to fix the situation, was more reps, but instead I would start preparing operational stuff. I'd start building dashboards, tinkering with my task list.
Sure.
Pseudo productivity.
Yeah, you kind of know what you should be doing, but you're like, well, I'm going to fix this other element that's actually not present.